So I just got in from the gym and I decided that it would be a good idea to go shopping. Um, all of these lovely things I have here. And I have to put all of this away at some point. Probably not gonna be today. I finally bought myself clothes. I feel like I absolutely deserve it. But I just have such a hard time balancing and buying myself stuff. Oh my goodness, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I just got home. I went to the gym this morning. I worked out, did a full body workout. Then I decided to finally do something for myself and buy myself clothes. So I'm happy about that. I'm just learning how to balance everything, learning how to balance everything so everything can be one instead of having everything all over the place. First and foremost, I gotta give a shout out to the outfit. I got it from 32degrees.com. I love their website because it's like super affordable. I'm one of those people, I like quality things, but just because they're quality doesn't mean they have to be expensive. So I love their workout clothes. I paid $12 for the top and the bottom. I don't like that I got a size up, so it's kind of a lot of room inside and it rolled down when I'm working out on my stomach because I'm a little insecure about my stomach. But love the outfit first and foremost. So as we all know, balancing is not something that's really easy to do, especially when you have a bunch of responsibilities or a bunch of different things that you need to do. So you have to start somewhere, right? You notice, hey, I want to change in my life. I'm tired of my life being hectic. I have to make a change in some area of my life. So you take your time to figure that out. And it could look like writing it down. It could look like just prioritizing what's most important versus least important, just as long as you start somewhere. So for me, becoming a nurse brought about a lot of change just because as you develop in your career as a nurse, the things you used to do will not work for you anymore. In my experience, nursing is a very structured career. I mean, there are some people in it that are not structured, but it hurts you more than helps you if you're not structured in the nursing field, as far as organization, as far as prioritization and having good time management. And I feel like those things also translate into my life, my everyday life. I just felt like when I got into this field, I couldn't be the same me that I was before. I had to transform, and that brought about some changes in my life, and they were all good changes. So that's like the really good thing. They say with everything great that comes is great sacrifice, and I will completely agree with that. I feel like I've had to sacrifice a lot, but I also feel like by sacrificing that, I got a great reward at the end. So I'm currently LPN and I work in home health. And when I first started, I had the impression that I had to wind up in a nursing home, but that wasn't the case. I was able to find a job that I loved that worked with my personal life, despite what others may have told me. I was able to find a reasonable apartment that I loved and that worked for my lifestyle. And I started accepting a lot of things. I find that most people I'm meeting, they don't want to accept where they currently are. And I feel like a part of that will help you advance in your journey and it will get you to where you want to be. Not so much settling, but just realizing, hey, this is where I am and this is where I'm going. Another thing I had to change was my friends and the people I hung around. And not just friends, but anybody that I hung around. I learned that I can't hang around people that have negative energy. At a point, I had negative energy, and certain people didn't want to be around me, and I didn't understand it at the time. But when you grow and change your energy, you decide you don't want to be around somebody that's negative. You don't want to be around somebody that doesn't believe in themselves or doesn't want to see you do good. Because I noticed as I started to elevate, not that the people I was with were bad, they just weren't able to understand me anymore as a person. A lot of times when we start to grow, people can't imagine us being anybody different other than who we've been to them. And that can hinder growth a lot of times if you stay around the same people. So you just have to learn how to have different friends for different things, I would say. because all of my friends are not nurses, but all of my friends know me as a person, respect me as a person, respect my time, and we all hold certain values to where we'll succeed and progress and help each other progress. So that's something to also think about. I'm not high in drama. I don't like to hang around people that are very drama filled and very dramatic. It tends to bring me down. On a positive note, I started journaling again. I'm really happy about that. I started therapy as well. I feel like that helps me have a clear mind because as a nurse, even though I'm in home health, I do experience things that might make me feel one way or another, or it might be heavy on my mind. And then aside from work too, life in general, like I'm a human being, so just going through different things might make you feel a certain way. So I always tell people it's important to have somebody to talk to, whether it's a therapist or not. I think therapy, I just started today actually, but seems like, a good thing for me because I can talk to somebody that doesn't even know me. They're not biased. They hear what I say and they are able to acknowledge what I'm saying and letting me know if it's okay to feel the way that I feel or not. Because I'm such a helper, I help so many people and don't focus on myself, which is something that I see a lot of nurses going through. And it's something that's not healthy, especially if you're keeping that stuff inside. So I'm actually really glad I started therapy. And it's not for everyone, but it's definitely for me and it's helped me a lot. Another thing I started was keeping myself accountable, and that includes financially. Finances is something that I've struggled with for quite some time. I'm very proud of myself that I have gotten better, especially because I'm going back to school for my RN, and finance is something I want to be strong on, especially because I'll be making more money and I want to see that money translate in my life by investing it, by saving it, by being able to do things like trips and create experiences more so than having materialistic things. I value experience a lot in life and with traveling and meeting different people because I also feel like experience and making different connections is what helps you become a better person and a better version of yourself. But this is my planner. I got it from Amazon. I was watching a video on YouTube and I seen someone doing their weekly budget. So I do like an annual budget and I write down my bills that come in each month. It has a bill tracker so you can kind of like check off the bills that you've paid for the month, which I really like. They have a debt tracker where you can write down all of the debts you have when you plan on paying them. So that way you can kind of formulate a plan. I'm very much a person that if I can't see something, it's not going to work. I don't, even if I'm positive and talk about it, like it's just not going to work. But yeah, and a monthly budget page so you can write down all of the things you think you might plan to spend, and it has a category for like what you budgeted and versus what you actually budgeted. So I think that's really cool. And this is just the calendar. Don't mind me, it looks a mess. But that makes me happy that it looks a mess because I know that I've been using it. And then this is just like what I spend on a daily log and making sure I write down every time I swipe my card, which has actually helped me swipe my card a lot less. So I'm really happy that I'm starting to become more accountable. It makes me feel better. I feel less stressed. I feel like I can conquer the day because I can control what I can control. I can't control everything. I can't control everybody, but I definitely can control myself, my state of peace, my peace of mind, and it makes me feel great. A lot of times when we change as people, I feel like the older we get, we kind of resist change. And I didn't used to think that. I used to say, oh, what are people talking about? Until I noticed it. Change is a really good thing, or it can be, especially when you're talking about like career choices or you're talking about just trying something new as far as like your passion or something. So me, I'm a singer and a songwriter, and I've been really excited that I have been getting back to that and formulating a plan to be able to execute that properly as opposed to just jumping out and doing things. I found that I was really impulsive before. Like I knew what I wanted to do, but I wasn't sitting down and making a plan about it. And I was wondering why it wasn't working. I think everything in life for myself, it requires a plan. And if there's no plan in place, then that to me means it's not happening. So it's really important to sit down, formulate a plan about all of the things that you want to accomplish, and get them done. And it's also good to sit down and realize where you are versus where you want to go and make a plan about that. So that way, when the change happens, you're not so resistant to it, because life is going to go on with or without you, you know. So it's really important to take your time and realize that change is good, or it can be. I've changed my health habits too. I started eating better, and it's funny because now that I cook at home, I really don't have a desire to eat out, and I also don't have a desire to eat as much as I was eating. Not because I'm starving myself, but I just don't feel as hungry, and I think that's a good thing to me because I realize I feel like I might have been overeating just because I would just eat. Like, I love food. I love how it tastes. I love the presentation. I love it, but I just don't have that strong desire for it anymore. So I started eating more fruits and vegetables. Not that I didn't before, but I fell in love with like vegetables. My favorite vegetable right now is cabbage, and my favorite fruit right now is probably kiwis, which is something I didn't really eat often. Like, growing up, I would eat the typical fruits like apples, bananas, strawberries. So I'm trying to like dig into different things, and fall in love with them or like them and try as many different things as I can. Um, just so that my plate isn't boring, because I don't like eating the same thing over and over again, and most people don't. So just working on that aspect, I've been really happy. All in all, I would say, with my personal perspective with being a nurse, we take care of everybody else and forget about ourselves. So I made sure to start focusing on myself and my mental health and my physical health and my spiritual health. And it's been a great journey, and I can't wait to continue the journey. I now have 10 more months left in my RN program, and I'm so excited. I'm set to finish in October of this year, 2025, from my mouth to God's ears. And until next time, I will also love to hear all of you guys' journeys and what you're going through. See you next time. Thank you for watching.